Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host today, Lipstickpaddy, and today we're looking at Aquanauts, Discover the Deep. Now this is a diving game, but not really. You're going right down to the bottom of the ocean where the light doesn't shine to do research down there as a marine biologist. So it's a kind of a unique game as you're doing research down there and then sending it up to the surface in order to get points. It's kind of like a worker placement, small engine builder, and you're also going to be going as fast as you can to actually win the game on points. So it is quite interesting. The Kickstarter came out pretty premature, but after a week of maturity, it finally got its rulebook out and showed some of the stuff off in the pledges, so it's pretty interesting now to look at. So let's go to the Kickstarter right after this. The next social stretch goal on KiS 102.4 is the 250 subscriber. Subscribe today and unlock new music that will change the music in all the videos in the future. You could be part of the evolution. Alright, here we are, the Aquanauts Kickstarter page, and this is very exciting. Now when it first came out, it was lacking information, so we had to hold the Kickstarter spotlight until today. Now as it's been a busy week, but we all green-lighted it here, all four of us, because it was quite exciting. We loved the box. You can see the depth here, no pun intended. It's really nice. I like this box really well. And it's a worker placement game, but you can build up things to create like a little engine going also, so it's a bit engine light, worker placement, lightish, got an interesting mechanic of like filling up the submarine, and the submarine will float up to the surface to the ship at the top, bring down cargo down as well, so it's got an interesting up and down maneuver mechanic. And essentially you've got a worker and a robot. Worker, your worker can only do certain actions that the robot cannot do. So it's a bit like your worker is a super worker, and you're going to get bonuses if you double up in a certain area too. And this is all about really mining to get resources, and these resources that you're getting, then you can put them into researching the cards up here to get research papers, and then the research papers go up to the top, and then you get some victory points. So it's like you're mining on the board for the currency to purchase the research paper, and that's essentially what's going on. And your main player board can be upgraded. The engine can increase, so you're getting more resources, more potential worker placement points, etc. So you can upgrade the whole thing going, and you're basically trying to become the best marine biologist. It says you can build your research station in the ocean's twilight zone. This is where the sun's light cannot penetrate down. It's so deep. It classifies it as 200 meters. I didn't think it was, I thought it was actually more than that, but hey. Hull in the UK, there is a Millennium project called The Deep, where you go down into the deep zone and check all these marine biology stuff out. If you ever visit the UK, highly recommend The Deep if you're up in the north. It's very cool. Yeah, they have all these ugly things down there, and even some of them, you can see this one here has its own light. Yeah, they have energy down there to create a light. Amazing nature evolution down in the deep. So yeah, really cool. You can see up here in the video the box looks great. Down here, super low quality image. I don't know what it is. If you bring in an image at 4K and downsize it to this, it does increase in its quality if you downsize. Believe it or not, as seen in the video game industry, downsizing. Similar to upscale. In fact, no. it is upscaling if you go from 4K down to something smaller. Anyhow, at the top of the board here, you're laying out the potential research papers that you can do. There's a stack of these though that you can do, and yeah, meticulously researched, so potentially there is some nice learning here. It's educational, and in this shot here you can actually see some detail of the board here. It is dark down there. It would be interesting to see on this board some human lights, right? Because this is the science down there. Is there no lights that we've put up to help us down here? It is looking very dark and dingy. So there we go. Now they've not updated the Kickstarter page really, and they've hidden all the interesting information in the updates, which is frankly unfortunate, because most people that are going to come to this site, they are not going to jump into the updates. They're going to come down, and if they don't see what they're interested in, they'll say bye-bye. So really the stuff in the updates which we'll look at is more cool stuff happening up there. Deploy your workers, gather resources, and you can construct stuff. Launch the submarine back up to the top, and cash in on your research papers that you've got. Now, how to play here is sad because it's the prototype that they're using, and the prototype is not really good for selling it, is it? I mean, the ironing down the mechanics of how it's working, yes. And as you can see, it's June 2021. This is far off, really is early in its conception. So yeah, this is a very, very, very early project then, and sad that we've only got that. This is probably why there's not many YouTubers got it, and when I say not many, I mean no YouTuber. We'll see when we get out. Board, do like the board, absolutely, and you will be using minis here to put down on the board. I'll show you that later. They're not showing it on the main page, but it is cool. Minis and stuff, I don't know, we'll have a look. Main board looks cool anyway. You've got, as you can see, lots of spots for the workers to sit on, and yeah, it actually looks big, the board, but we don't know how big it is. That's the unfortunate part of playing with the product on the table, because you get to see how big it is. The submersible board here, it has slots to put in your currency, I'm going to say your resources, and then you can see 3 pods here, and each pod is 1 research card. The vessel is floating on the top of the surface. You can request a worker to go up there to get materials, I think. So if you need something that isn't here, you might have to request it on the research vessel, and that's only going to come down, I think, when the submersible goes up and comes back down. So there is that. Nice player boards. Do like these. Again, it's like, if you're setting up down here, would you not put lights down on the surface? I don't know. They just look like they could do with a little bit more interest, and a little power generation down there would be cool. But yeah, I mean, it's early. I mean, it's early in the design process. 16 research cards. The art on this side is really nice. The other side is a little too simple. It could do with something else here. I know it's trying to represent a classification of a fish, but I don't know. I mean, should it not look like a research paper that you've done? That's what, you know, it doesn't look like a research paper, does it? So yeah, I think that could do for another art pass. Look at these monsters. It'd be nice if it's meticulously researched, that these monsters would have a nice bit of information about them, or potentially a add-on, not an add-on, but something in the rule book which you can learn more about these. Even if it was just a paragraph to teach you about them, like this monster here with the essentially light antennae coming off with a light bulb. Now these objective cards, these are essentially public. They are public objectives, essentially, so that every time you play you might have different objectives. So for example, if you want to claim the mollusk specialist here, you've got to just get 2 of the classification of the mollusk. If it's cutting edge facilities, you've got to, it looks like, build 5 on your player board. The first to get 5 on your player board will get this one. Generalist, you have got to get 2 types, it looks like 2 types of fish to get that one. And the pink is your potential points. Your whatnot, your, what's it called? Victory points. Now the building tiles, these will allow you to build them on your player sheet, and there's not many variety of them. It'd be nice if you could get new building tiles in the stretch goals, but we'll see. The player pieces here, this is only on the pledge, not on the basic pledge. Yeah, so let's see if I remember what these are. We've got algae, some kind of thing. Algae, it's so difficult to remember what these are. Power, oxygen maybe. Algae, biological bits, building materials. And that's your kind of victory points. There you go. You got your robots and your workers. All right. All wooden, yes. Lots of languages, very good. Yeah, the Aquanaut. You need to have this pledge to get the wooden components. And the Pioneer has a submersible model, which we've no idea what that looks like yet. The Aquanaut also comes with building minis. The building minis are not on the Kickstarter page. They are in the updates. We'll have a look soon, but they should be here. It says, look, more info coming soon. Well, update your Kickstarter page. This is big news, your minis. You should be up at the top. Stretch goals, it doesn't look like they've unlocked these. It doesn't look like it's got locked or unlocked. It's just plastered here. It doesn't look like it. So, but interesting anyway. Foil box, nice. Mini expansion, a new category of possibly here. That's nice too. Printed box insert, yeah, very nice. This nice green teal dye around the side of each thing. That's nice too. Glow in the dark cards. Oh yeah, because it is dark down there. And hydrochromic promo card. Ooh, what is that? Some kind of UV spotting on a card. But just one. It's a card. It's odd. Shipping here. You have to go up and actually put your shipping in to get the estimate anyway up above. So shipping table here. I don't know why it doesn't just say check out your pledge level at the top. An old video from 2019, scant on information here, and again it's in prototype, so that's why there's no YouTube videos on it. No YouTubers covering it, unfortunately. It's still early in its design. And team of 8 on the project, which is medium size, you might say. Pledge to Mexico is fairly expensive. It's 45, 38 for the base, and if this one 46, £1 extra if I'm going for the big pledge. Okay. All right, let's go to the updates. Update 4. Look, it's come to Tabletopia, and it looks like each board has their own colours. Oh, this looks like some... This looks great, guys. Look, we're getting our own boards here, and we're getting our own coloured meeples, right? Look, you can see this worker here is purple. This guy here is blue. So yeah, hopefully that is what they're going to do. Instead of just calling them the grid, it'd be nice if you was actually a company representing a company that's down here instead of just the grid. So come up with some marine biology names, for example. That'd be nice. Now, update 3. This is a beautiful one because you get to see the minis. And interestingly, the mini has to be clipped in as if they are going to be slotted on the, slotted on the surface of the ocean. Notice here the teal tiles here. So it's already including the stretch goal in this image. Why is it a stretch goal if you just have it used in these images? Isn't it odd? It seems to be a little bit something extra that you don't need. Why don't you just put them down on it? I don't know. I guess if you see here, look, it just says geothermal pumps and it's got 1 bar of energy, but I don't know why you can't just slot that on there anyway. It seems a little bit of unnecessary, but hey, that's just me. Be nice to see what these look painted also. If you got your eyes on that, just to see look more interesting, and might actually get people interested in upgrading to these minis if they could see, because often when they're painted you can see more detail. Brings out more detail when they're painted. And look, the rulebook is in here, update 4, which is a bit of a weird book. We'll go to the rulebook and then we'll come back to the top to finish off the final thoughts. Alright, this rulebook, it's a weird PDF. It really is. It wants you to go sideways. Aquanauts rulebook on the left. Why is it not just on this image here? It's like, take this boring background off and put it over here. Interesting photo. I mean, the diver here, look, there's this like lead coming down here. What is this thing down here? And why is he going up towards this giant fish thing? Looks very dangerous. It's weird, this it's weird, isn't it? But interesting the same. Got a whole page here describing what's happening in the marine biology here, the Twilight Zone. But you've actually got to come across 4 pages and come down to the next, which is weird. Page 4 now. This text here on the right could be so big. Why not just make it smaller in a little box here? Because this could be completely zoomed. Let me zoom this. Zooming it doesn't makes it worse. Anyway, zoom this out to 2-page spread, please. Let's have a look at it all. Contribution points, that's what they're calling the victory points in this. Sample tokens, algae, oxygen, power. Sample, that's what I couldn't remember. Doesn't show board difference here, does it? So, but if you look at the board here, it looks like they're planning on having orange, blue, pink, green. So it does look like they're going to update the boards for certain. They've not mentioned this update at all, like the board's getting upgraded or anything like that. It's, just picking this out of the book. and from the other thing. Right, so setup here. This board here is too small. You can zoom this up to this top corner here and get this bigger. In fact, it'd be nice if it was bigger, because you could maybe put... In fact, I'd suggest putting this one across the whole double page and having lines going to number 4. Where is number 4? Here. Have a line going to them. Which is more popular if you look at other rulebooks at the minute. They're basically putting the main board in the center here with the text going around it and lines going to where it is on the setup. But you've got 9 worker placement spots here in this is where you're all going, and only 1 meeple can go on them. Your Aquanaut meeple can do more things than the robot can do. There's always 4 cards here with basically they're public. As long as you get the resources, you can claim them. But when you claim them, you've got to put them inside the submersible here with the amount of materials needed. That floats up to the top to the vessel. Yay! To the right here, these are the public quests, public missions, public stuff. Now this power algae building material, oxy samples, contribution points. It would be nice if that was a key and it was down in the corner somewhere and it was on most of the pages to get you to remember this stuff. So there we go. The grid here, you've got 5 places to build on, and yeah, it is interesting. Nice board. Hopefully it does get its name changed. Just calling it the grid seems to be something that needs to be updated. Down and across. How to play. It'd be nice if they did an example turn here and showed how that worked. But there we go. Seems nice enough, straightforward. There's a few things in here that are a little strange. The back of these cards, that's what the research paper is going to look like on your board when you've researched it, and it's just so plain. Can you not make it look like a folder with a title on it, a photograph on it? I don't know, it should look like something really cool. It's just so plain Jane. Also, if you're taking a photo of these as a marine biologist, it's very dark down there, so you're going to be shining your camera on them, right? Have we not got some kind of background you're taking the eel on or something? I don't know. If the surface was here, it'd be nice if the photo that was taken here was actually showing that off as well. Or some other bits. It just looks a little basic for me at the minute. Could do a pass. I'm critiquing this because it's still very early in its life cycle, the game. So art is still an ongoing thing. Talking about grids here where you can combine 2 workers to get bonuses. It'd be nice if it actually displayed all of the board to explain what each thing was here. We've not got that per se, but yeah, all the tiles on the board would be nice if you included what all them did, and also the stuff that you're building on your home base, all the buildings that you can build. It'd be nice if we got an explanation of each of them in the rulebook. The public objective here, it says, to claim this public objective card, a player must have constructed 3 facilities in the player grid. No, the card clearly says mollusk specialist, be the first to publish 2 research papers. So the description doesn't link to the arts. There's an arrow in the rulebook there. Good to see an FAQ is coming, and please put an index in your rulebook. Please, please, please index in your rulebook. Thank you very much. Let's go to the Kickstarter and we'll wrap up this video. Alright, there's Aquanauts. Oh, it does look interesting. More to come. Only 8 days left to go, though. Oh. Give us an update on these boards, the colours you're bringing into the game, and naming the companies, please. Also, where's the Deluxe Submersible? Want to see what that looks like. I mean, this submersible, it's costing £35. It's very expensive. What does it look like? These are going in here on blind faith, these 134 backers. So what are you doing, guys? If all of you jump ship into the Aquanaut here pledge, then that might make them say something beforehand. In the FAQ, there's some sad news. If I back at the £1 level, do I get access? No! You need to pledge to get into the pledge manager, which is very sad. Because the minimum pledge is $50. And that is a massive hit on the wallet. And we're talking about COVID-19 is here. People aren't working, lack of funds. Frosthaven, hello. Lots of AAA games. Oh my goodness, it's very tough in Kickstarter at the minute. And to balance the books, our editor loves worker placements, and she herself has said that she would pledge this game totally to balance her wallet or purse, but coming in at 50, ouch, she just can't manage that. So introduce the pledge. How much do you want to come into the pledge manager? You're not going to be making the game for a long time. Whenever the pledge manager, whenever you're making the order, that is when the pledge manager should close. And with all the delays that are going on before production completes, you know, you totally could have people coming on $1 pledge. It's just very strange that you don't do it. It's very anti-consumer at the minute. But there we go, an interesting worker placement, interesting theme, marine biology, and yeah, there we go. It'd be nice to have a bit more education if there was a little bit more teaching about these fish, of what they are, their abilities are, and things like that. That would be nice, a bit more educational. And yeah, certainly one to watch. 8 days to go. We'll update you at the weekend on This Week On, as we do update all our games that we covered in the week that are Kickstarter spotlights. And yeah, so Aquanauts. Will it produce more information for the 8 days to go to invite you in and put a pledge down? We hope so, and hope that a $1 pledge comes available, or £1 pledge, or whatever you need, because that $50 to get into your pledge manager is stopping backers coming into the project that are trying to balance their wallet or purses. So there you go. Well, you've been listening to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host today, Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and if you're gaming at home, solo, or with friends and family, if they can come round, that is, hope you're having fun. So bye-bye for now.